Good afternoon. It is January 5th, 2026. And today we had, let me get this into the frame. We had this, we had an up day. Here's how it looks on the daily chart. We hit this resistance at the top of the range and sold off. Um, so very regular price action on the daily chart. Uh, Yesterday, after the market opened, you can see just kind of like trending trading range, like price action within a larger, broad bull channel. Let me just make that bigger. And so in the overnight, we continue. We had a strong push up here, pullback, uh, kind of a choppy upward move here. And then just before, about an hour before market opens, we break below the EMA, create a gap below the EMA, and then you get a strong move up. So I would, I mean, this is the first time we gap below the EMA. So I don't think you want to buy this signal bar, so to speak. I don't think it's a bad idea, but you're going to have to go for uh, a reward that's probably, you're probably going to want to go for a reward that's 3 or 4 times greater than your risk, which would have paid off. But if you take this higher low, I think that's a solid bet, and it turns out to be a good move. Get some resistance at the top of the channel. Here, you know what? Let me make this bigger. We get some resistance at the top of the channel before going higher. And what I want to point out here uh, is that, first of all, this is a strong move up. So you could argue to go long here. That's like off the midline of the trend channel. You could argue for that, but I think what you want to look at is now we've gapped above here. Okay, so you can take this, and we also create a body gap when we pull back here and it fails to close the body gap. I think you want to take this. Whoops. And none of this is guaranteed. We all know that. But then you get another body gap here. So the signal bar is not great, but that's something to consider. You got all these body gaps. This could be a strong move. And I think they closed the body gap here. Oh, no, they did not. So you get a pullback, and if you see that, maybe you consider going long here. But the problem is this trend channel is, big overshoot. But now we got to pull back to the EMA. I think it's reasonable to buy. But then it just looks like a very range-like price action at this point. So we break out to the high side, and it may look like we're going higher. But you definitely want to wait just because of all this overlap and doji-like stuff. And this does look like a gap below the EMA to me. So I think, I think you probably want to be patient. Um, so this fails, and then we come down here, and when it stalls here, I think you can consider entering, uh, hopefully on a limit order, because it doesn't look like a strong breakout yet, and this is a range, and you can see a lot of people took profits. They probably had the range highs drawn up here, and so they're just taking profits at the midline. Comes back to the bottom of the range, goes back up, comes back down. So you can enter on limit orders over here or here to go long. I'm not looking really to go short yet. And then we break out and hold with the EMA. So I don't really, I wouldn't really feel very confident here, but this EMA is pointing up. You get a nice signal bar here and here, so I would look at this as a failed second entry short right here. When it breaks above that bar, maybe you consider that, or just consider entering long at what you may be viewing as a short-term range. Enter long on a limit order down here. Then we get to the top of this channel, sell off and break out into this range here, which is 7 a.m. I got to stop analyzing these lower time frame charts. This is the 1300 tick charts, and there's just so much to analyze. So you get that strong leg down, boom, sell climax, bounces off. I don't really think I'd feel comfortable here because kind of just feels like we're trying to reverse. But look, when it bounces here again, I think it's a good bet to enter on limit orders down here. And you could enter on a limit order there, but definitely here. So yeah, on this, I like that inside bar opens on its high, closes on its low. It just looks like they're just trapping people going up and down. So I like buying the close there. And then we eventually, you can see the EMA holding prices. And we break out and you get a breakout pullback. So I don't like stop orders here, but I like limit orders. And we get to the top of the channel before we sell off. And I don't really see much here. I don't think you can just take this random short unless, again, you're going for like a 3 or 4 times your risk. Do you get short right here? I mean, we did stall right here, so I mean, I don't think I think that's like the first time where I'd be like, maybe you do get short. I mean, you could probably argue for going short over here too on limit orders. And that pretty much sums it up for the rest of the day. I mean, you could you could think about going long here or something like that. But I don't like how I typically stop weighing, stop giving these ranges weight when we have breakouts to both sides. And I think the computers do that too. So here's how the 1700 tick chart looks like. This is a clear indication of what's going on. So um, to me, it looks like we were in this channel uh, yesterday and today, and now we're pulling back to the EMA. So there's the daily chart, the weekly chart, and we're in January. This is the monthly chart, not a whole lot of information just yet. So hope everyone had a good day. I'll be back tomorrow.